I'm the Chief of Staff for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I begin tonight with some tragic news. 5 individuals were murdered in a residence not far from this location. While investigators were while investigating some leads that were inside the search perimeter, law enforcement agencies received a call from a concerned individual who had not heard from their relatives today. At approximately 6 p.m., law enforcement officers responded to a residence on Highway 7 and discovered 5 bodies inside the residence, 2 adults and 3 children. Missing from the residence is a 1999 white Chevy Silverado, license plate number DPV 4520. And we do believe at this time that the prime suspect is Gonzalo Lopez. Lopez may be driving this vehicle, and so we ask the public to be on the lookout. Again, it's a white 1999 single cab white Silverado that has damage on the driver's side. And it's also believed that Lopez may be armed. So should you see this vehicle, we ask that you call local law enforcement. Please know that this remains a very active investigation. In fact, the crime scene is still being processed at this time by both Leon County and DPS. But please know that we will not rest until Gonzalo Lopez is in custody. A massive manhunt is underway by local, state, and federal officials to track his movements and bring him into custody. Please know that he cannot run forever. And I would urge Lopez to give up at this time, because he will be brought to justice and he will be brought into custody. At this time, I'm going to take some questions.
What evidence, I know that you all were saying earlier in what evidence that you all still have that shows that he's still in this area that
I'm not going to get into specific evidence, but there is some information for us to lead to believe that Gonzalo Lopez was the individual that broke into that residence and committed these murders.
Do you know if he had any relation to the people inside that house?
We don't believe that at this time. These individuals, this is not a residence, a permanent residence, it's more of a weekend home. And these individuals were seen earlier this morning, so we do believe that those homicides took place at some point this afternoon, likely afternoon.
How were they killed?
I'm not going to get into those details.
Long bed or short bed? Like single cab or double cab?
It is a single cab, and it appears to be a short bed with some damage on the driver's side.
Did the white Chevy that you guys are searching for, is that owned by one of the victims? We ran the license plate for the owner of that. They have a laundry list. It was like a violent offenses. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. That pickup is actually just a farm truck,
okay,
and it was parked there at the residence. They had purchased it some time ago. It's unclear whether they had actually registered it in their names. Again, it's just a farm truck that we believe Lopez stole.
What would you say to those who have been watching the manhunt and are a little bit concerned about the Texas Department of Criminal Justice finding Lopez with another murder right now still on the run as they did? What trust or what hope would you give them with another murder still on the run that happened under the Texas Department of Criminal Justice?
Sure. I'll just tell you that we're not going to rest until he's in custody and brought to justice. Lopez is obviously a killer. He has a disregard for human life. We know that. Law enforcement knows that. And so we'll continue to search for him doggedly until he's brought into custody.
What do you know about the family? The family that was found dead, 2 adults and 3 children that were found dead in the home where apparently the suspect was. What do you know about this family?
The family is not local. They are from the Houston area. And again, this was not a primary residence. This was a weekend residence. their loved ones became concerned whenever they were unable to contact them, and that's what led investigators to that residence. I will tell you that we have cleared that area and cleared that residence multiple times. That is within our search perimeter. And TDCJ remained in this area. I can tell you that that residence was within our primary search perimeter. TDCJ has kept personnel in this area. Just today we had more than 40 roving officers that were in this area. But again, that residence had been cleared multiple times, and we believe that that family showed up at that residence today.
Had you made
Viewers from
contact
Houston,
with that
do you know
family
what part of
before they
Houston?
came here?
I'm sorry?
Had you made contact, like talked to them on the phone before they came here, contacting all the families as you made the perimeter? Had y'all ever spoken to them? Did they know that a search was going on?
Yes. So as far as contact, we would place evidence tape on the residences to indicate that they had been searched. And I know that we have had multiple conversations with residents all throughout this area.
But the Houston family, did they know, coming to their house, would they have talked to y'all? Did they know that this area was being searched for him?
Let the instructor. I can't speak specifically on whether that family, whether we had contact specifically with them, but I can tell you that this has been a significant amount of media coverage throughout the area. We have a command post that is set up nearby. We have more than 40 roving officers in and around this area, to include roving around that, to include also evidence tapes that's placed on residents as they're cleared. So, again, TDCJ has continued to search this area, search for Lopez. We did not have evidence that brought him out of this area, and so that's why we remained, and that's why we continued to search.
Is it believed that he's been in that house for more than the 3 weeks? So, since this?
No, it had been cleared multiple times, and so we think that he was in that residence recently.
How was he able to evade officers, 40 officers in 3 weeks?
I won't get into those details, but obviously he was able to stay within the woods, get into residence to get water and food, and possibly change his clothing.
There were
He's
reports
been
earlier
missing since
that
May 12th. What is your agency's course of action?
Right, the course of action right now is to continue the search. So again, we'll leave no stone unturned, and we continue to search for Lopez. This is not just a TDCJ search. This is a local, a state, a federal search across the entire country.
As for the murders, are you?
All white. I'm hearing reports that he could be in camo now. Could you talk about maybe what this looks like, what he possibly changed into?
I can't say specifically what he's wearing, but we do believe that he would have potentially taken some clothes from that residence and potentially some firearms.
So
Jason, you mentioned that this residence was off Highway 7. On the 20th, when you guys announced the search perimeter, the updated search, you guys reopened Highway 7, and obviously this has been on the mind of all the residents here. I'm sure a lot of them are wondering, what is tomorrow going to look like? What resources are you guys allocating here? What's the course of action?
Sure. So we are continuing to work with DPS and with Leon County. We're going to continue to clear areas, clear residences. But again, I think because the vehicle is missing, there is a belief that he has moved out of the area. With that being said, we will continue to search throughout this area to see if we find any more evidence that puts him out. But I will say again, we've got a missing vehicle, we've got deceased individuals, and so there is a belief that potentially Lopez is in that vehicle and out of this area.
So you're
there
not
were reports of that vehicle being seen in San Antonio.
I can just tell you that the 2 adults and their 3 minors, I don't have specific ages.
How much manpower was added since you all expanded the search? I know that FBI and U.S. Marshal was on it, but how much added manpower is going into now with such a serious tragedy happening?
I can just tell you that every available resource that is out there is being dedicated to this search.
And you said this
Do you
is
believe-
a visiting family that was in the residence. Are you guys? So this is an Airbnb, or what is this exactly that they were visiting this home?
No, it's owned by that family, but again, it looks to be a weekend type residence. It wasn't a primary residence.
Do you know when they arrived in the home? Was it Memorial Day? When did they get there?
We believe that they came today.
How can the public help you?
What I would ask from the public is to be on the lookout for that truck. And then also, if you know anything about Gonzalo Lopez or his whereabouts, there's a $50,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. And so I would encourage you to call local law enforcement and so we can get Gonzalo Lopez back into custody.
Do you think your agency failed this family?
Higher now?
I'm sorry?
Can we possibly see that reward raised to possibly 100,000 with the stakes being higher for 5
I don't know.
Do you think your agency failed this family?
Look, anytime that you have someone that escapes from custody, that is absolutely something that we have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how that happened. At the end of the day, we will conduct a serious incident review to determine exactly how Gonzalo Lopez was able to break free from his hand restraints, cut open a gate in order to get to the bus driver and stab the bus driver. So that's something that absolutely TDCJ will be doing, is going backwards, conducting a serious incident review to determine how exactly this escape took place.
Do we know the age of the kids?
Uh,
I know a lot of trucks have software in there.
it's a 99, but I can tell you that certainly that information has gone out to all law enforcement that's out there.
What are your next steps in investigation?
Between this family and the suspect, or not at all?
It doesn't appear that there's any relationship to this family. It just appears, unfortunately, that Gonzalo Lopez entered that home where the family was at.
What are your next steps in investigating the murders?
Certainly that's something that the Texas Rangers and the Leon County Sheriff's Department is doing right now. So what's happening at the moment is they are at the crime scene going through and processing all of that information as we speak.
Any confirmed sightings of the truck since it left that house?
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily get into that, but I would ask the public to search for that.
Have you notified the Houston family?
The family has been notified.
Can you verify the ages of the children again?
I don't have them. I'm sorry. I just know that they were minor.
Houston's a big area. Do you know what area?
I don't want to specifically say at this time.
Okay.
So do you have any inkling where the vehicle is? Do you have any area closed off right now that you guys suspect it could be?
Certainly I don't want to pigeonhole and say that we're looking at a specific area. I just say that we're looking statewide for that vehicle. Gonzalo Lopez has ties to South Texas. We know that. He's a former Mexican mafia gang member. And so obviously that is going to be an area that will be a heightened search area. But I'll just tell you that it's not confined to South Texas. Anywhere in Texas will be a place that we're looking.
When do you think you'll release the identity?
Over here just a few minutes ago. Why? At some point you try to negotiate with these people or never got in touch with them?
No, the SWAT would be in the event that we need to clear additional houses that are in and around the crime scene. We need to make sure that he's not holed up in an additional house. So that would be the reason for some of those response teams.
Thanks for the information. Do you know when you'll be able to release the identities of those 5 people who died?
I don't. I'll circle back with the sheriff to make sure that whenever that information is available, it will likely come from Leon County Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. When do you think the next major update is going to come?
I hope the next update is when he's captured.
You mentioned that the family, the victims, are from Houston. That truck, the plate, the person that owns it, you run the license plate, they're also from Houston. There's no connection between them or Lopez or the owner of that truck at all?
No. So we obviously ran the registration. We know when it was sold to the family. And in speaking with the family, that truck was just a vehicle that they parked up here. It was not something that's tied specifically to the suspect.
Lopez has shot at officers before. He was charged for attempted murder for shooting at an officer. Do you guys think, this could be a gunfight when you guys do meet him?
I will just say that Lopez is a person that does not care. He is an individual that has obviously killed and has just killed. And so, again, I think law enforcement will take all the precautions necessary to bring him into custody and bring him to justice.
Were there any?
All right.
Thank you, officer.
Thank you all.
Have a good night. Thank you.
For your time.